Hey everyone, I need to learn to let go, so I'm starting with books, which is the hardest for me. Ever since I moved out, I tried to keep all the books that I bought, whether I liked them or not, whether I intend to read them anytime soon or not, or whether I didn't finish reading them. If you follow me for a while, you know that I have a lot of postcard books on my shelves. These are books that I started at some point, but set aside for whatever reason. I didn't actively DNF. I meant to pick them up at a later point, which mostly doesn't happen. So I've decided with getting better at DNFing this year and also trying to get better at letting go, that I will look at my shelves and get rid of some of those books that I've started and never continued and just give them away. And I thought maybe you're interested. I decided to give away Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookshop because I will never finish this. I really was disappointed by the writing, by the story, and also by the main character. I really didn't like him. So I think I will never pick this up again. The same for River of Smoke. This is the second book in a trilogy, and I really enjoyed the first book, Sea of Poppies. But reading this, I discovered that I didn't like the writing in this book as much as I did in the first one. And everything that I liked about the first book somehow was missing in this. So I decided to give up on the trilogy altogether. Just One Damn Thing After Another is a recent DNF. I just bought it this summer when I was in Los Angeles and I started reading, was all excited about the time-traveling historians, but I really got annoyed by the characters, by the writing, by the not happening of time-traveling historians, and then that really ridiculous relationship that didn't make any sense for me. So I'm giving up on this, definitely. Something Happened by Joseph Heller is something I'm giving up because I didn't like the story. I was not interested in the story. I really like Catch-22 and other things I read by Joseph Heller. I like his writing in general. But this story, I'm trying to remember what it was about. Something about a family and an older midlife crisis daddy issue thing. But I don't really remember and I didn't care while reading. So I don't think I will ever pick this up again. I'd rather read something else by him. While I can be successful with cover buys, Q was definitely one of them. I started reading this, it was set in the Lutheran time and written in letters, and it promised to be interesting, but it just wasn't. I don't even remember what it really was about, but it was promising some grand satanic something. And I didn't enjoy reading it, and I haven't picked it up in years. Possession by A.S. Byatt is supposed to be this wonderful romantic postmodern book. I read it in university in a class where I fell in love with Jonathan Safran Foer and Graham Swift. But this one totally failed to deliver. I didn't like the writing, I didn't like the story, I didn't like the characters. Nothing about this got to me, and luckily we didn't talk about this in class at all, so I didn't have to finish it. And I never will. This is another cover buy. I never heard of the author or the book. I just saw it and it promised to be funny. But it wasn't. I kept reading and thinking, when is it getting funny? When is the story getting interesting? So I stopped and put it aside with the intention of picking it up again. I think that was over 10 years ago. I also found books in German that I started that I don't really want to finish. One of them is Booktube's darling, Shadow of the Wind. I started this before booktubing, and the worst part about this is it doesn't even have a postcard. It actually got dog-eared. I never do that. That tells you how little I cared for this book. I didn't like the writing, I didn't like the story, I didn't like anything about it. It was recommended to me by a friend, and all of the people that recommended it to her loved it, and everybody on Booktube loves it, and I just don't care. The 27th City by Jonathan Franzen was a gift I received because I liked the corrections, which I read in English, and I did like the corrections, but I didn't care about this one. Maybe it was the translation, maybe it was just that nothing happened, but I stopped reading it to pick up something else, and that was probably more than 10 years ago, so yeah. This is the last book, Fette Welt by Helmut Krauser. This was in a period of my life where I was trying to find German authors that I like reading, because that's kind of a problem I have. If you follow me for a while, you know that. But this one wasn't something I liked. I remember mostly being disgusted at what happened and how it was told. I cannot say if Henry Krauser is a bad or a good author. I can definitely say that he's not an author for me. And whatever happened in this book, I don't remember. It might have been 15 years since I read this. So this definitely can go. There's no attachment to this book. I really don't know why I keep these things so long if there is no attachment on my side towards the book. So I need to get better at letting go of things that I'm not really attached to and that don't really make up my reading life or any part of my personality, because I didn't finish these books. I didn't like these books. That's basically the worst you can do to a book, I think. That you care so little about it that you don't want to finish it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in comments how you are with DNFing, letting go of books, if you keep books that you started with the intention of reading them later, or how you deal with this whole thing of not caring about a book and how that makes you feel. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.